So you're seeing all of this hype around AI, but how can you take advantage of AI for your business right now in 2026? There's a number of ways to do this, and I want to break down some of the tactical ways that we've seen implemented, across many different types of businesses. First and foremost, what you want to do is look at your processes as something that's a clean slate or a green field, as we like to call it in the industry. Looking at it in terms of we can change everything about it. That's the first thing, is you have to have a mindset shift of just because you're doing it one way today doesn't mean it's not going to be different tomorrow. So once you start with that mindset shift of looking at changing everything in all of your processes, and this isn't just one specific area. Like I see a lot of people saying that customer support is like where AI is only going to be, or sales is only where AI is going to be. AI is going to be everywhere in the business. So really looking at your business like a clean slate and a greenfield opportunity for AI enhancement. So that's really step number one, is kind of level setting and looking at the entire playing field and understanding that everywhere there is opportunities for you to include AI to get productivity gains or efficiency gains kind of across the board. So once you have that sort of level set moment, then you actually need to go through and shadow those processes. Just the same way that you would normally implement any business application. Let's say you're doing like a replace on your CRM or your ERP system or HRM system. What you're going to do is you're going to shadow and understand what's happening in the current state to then get to the true requirement of why are we performing this process? Like what's the outcome that we're expecting from that? And documenting all of those true requirements across the different business processes that are happening end to end within your business. Once you have a good understanding of business processes and their given outputs or their requirements that you have, at this point, you're now able to go back and look at it through the lens of AI and say, where are the biggest opportunities for efficiency gains within the company? Where can I actually take AI and get some sort of ROI on that by implementing? So identifying a lot of those areas of low-hanging fruit where we can come in and look at the process and replace it with some sort of AI tool or inject AI into the process to make it faster, and you actually get a return on that or some sort of value savings or something like that. So going through and identifying those areas. Once you have that in place, it's not like you can just turn it on right then and say, all right, now you're doing this. You actually have to go through a change management process with your team, because there's still going to be people included in this process throughout this entire end to end. So you're going to want to train those people from day one on how they can interact with these tools. Having this clear change management process of training those people in that given department or for that given function is going to be absolutely critical. Step number 3 in this process is going from identifying what needs to be done, looking at it through the lens of change management on that given requirement, is actually doing the implementation of this. And what this looks like is normally having a business process model going now in the future state of where you have AI injected in this. So rather than sending this to Sally for her review, instead I'm going to send it to an agent, which has the policies that we have. Let's say it's for a return order example, our return policy within an agent, and I'm going to ask it to approve that return order for me. So you kind of show in that process model where that's changing, and you start to implement that on a variety of those scenarios. Normally, this is very quick time to value, so the creation of that agent is not very difficult. You're normally just putting in custom instructions and then adding in a policy, like a knowledge base or some sort of additional context where it can make decisions. And then you're just asking it, hey, can I approve this return or not? You're starting and testing out those scenarios. So you do that across the board. And really the final steps included in this are to review and then review this process with the team, ensure that they're keeping up with this new function as it compares with the current state, and looking at if they're actually getting value out of it. So the analyze section, looking at, hey, is this faster to do it this way? Are there more errors? Are there less errors? Are we actually getting that value right away? And then iterating on this once again. So once you get to that analyze step, you understand if you made progress or if there was value in that implementation and going through all of the change, you analyze it and then say, how do we improve this again? And you go right back through those steps. So there's a lot of iteration that has to go on for you to gradually improve. With a lot of businesses, we're not saying that, hey, as soon as you implement it, you're going to get this 10x productivity gains that so many of the big tech giants are touting right now. This is a gradual process over time that you're getting 10% gains here, 10% gains here, 50% gains here, and then those will exponentially level up as models get better, as more content is added to the agents and things like MCP are introduced. So this is the end-to-end of like how we would typically see going through an implementation of AI in your business. If you're interested in more content around things like MCP or building those custom AI agents, then we've got some video links for you guys that you should check out here. Please go take a look at those videos. It's going to give you a lot more insight on the actual tangible how to building the things rather than the process itself, just end to end. Hopefully you learned some in this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one.